All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to join our January webinar today. My name is Jimmy Liang. I'm an analytics consultant at Encaptis, and I'm going to present how to create a sales analysis report with query wizard and crystal reports today. So this is the agenda for today. I will describe the business scenario and then introduce the application I will use, and then show how the report I will create looks like and the report structures and formats. And then I will do a demo, and at the end we will have an Q&A session. Oops, sorry. So this is our business scenario created for the report today. The numbers are stored in our SAP Business One database, and the sales manager wants to have an annual sales performance report for the sales team, and he wants to evaluate the sales performance by looking at the total sales numbers from the AR invoices, and he also wants to have the numbers broken down by each sales employee, and the report is visualized with graphics. And moreover, he required the report to have the gross margin percentage as a key performance indicator. So basically, these are the requirements for the report. And after understanding this, we can start to design the report. Okay. The applications we will use for creating the report basically are the query wizard in SAP Business One and the SAP Crystal Report 2008. The query wizard in SAP Business One will be used to create an SQL query to retrieve data from the database. As you will see here, the result will look like this, the chart on the right. And after we get the data, we will then use SAP Crystal Report to format the report. The functions I will talk about in Crystal Reports are the report wizard, general and conditional formatting, and how to create functional fields. So this is the report I will create for the sales manager. It's based on 3 tables from Business One. The OSLP table shows the sales employee names, and the OINV table contains customer names and customer code, and the INV1 table provides the sales details such as the quantities, line totals, and gross profits. The data is grouped by 2 levels, and the first level is grouped by employees, and then under each employee, the second level, the data will be grouped by the customers. These are the customers that this employee make deals with across the year. And then besides of the employee names and customer names, the report also shows the order total, order quantity, line totals, and gross profits, as well as a gross margin percentage in columns. In terms of the format, to make the report more visualized, there will be a bar chart shows the annual sales by each employee at the top area here. And then like what we use to do in Microsoft Word and Excel, general formatting refers to some editing such as the changing the character fonts and sizes, arranging space between fields, and making columns align. The conditional formatting here means some format changes only when some predefined criteria happens. Considering the gross margin percentage as a KPI here, we try to make it more obvious to the manager. So we set conditional format for the gross margin percentage here. And as you can see in this case, when the number is equal or less than 25%, it will show red. And when the number is equal or greater than 50%, and then the number will show green. Otherwise, the number remain black here. And there is a calculation field I will talk about as well. Basically, the calculation field is a field with formulas in order to calculate numbers the data source doesn't provide. In our case, the gross margin percentage is calculated based on a formula, the profit divided by sales revenue, and then times 100%. As you can see, this column here, the gross margin, this is the calculation fields. So I will now switch to my SAP. We can start to build a report with the SAP Query Wizard and the Crystal report. So we'll go to Tools, and then Queries, and Query Wizard. Next, here we put in those three tables I mentioned before. The OINV table, and then the OSLP table, and the INV1 table. So these are the three tables we are going to use to retrieve data from, and then click Next. Here we are going to provide the columns. First of all, the sales employee name column from the OSLP table, and we can also change the headings here so they show employee, only show employee in the report letter. And then we choose the OINV table, which is the AR, it's based on the AR invoice. And we need COP code, which is a customer code here.
Hey, Jimmy.
And then change the title to customer number.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes?
Sorry to interrupt, but do you think you can make your window a little bit bigger? It might help people to...
Like this.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if that helps people, but thanks.
Okay. And then the OINV table again, and tab. This time we need the account name, which is the customer name. And we change the heading to customer. And then we need to choose the INV1 table. This time we need the quantity. Again, the INV1 table. Line total. We'll change it to total. And then INV1 table again. And we want the gross profit. Okay. So basically these are the columns we are going to show in the report later, and then we are going to put them in groups. We're going to group the sales employee and group it by the customer number. And then we choose maximum for the customer name, because we just want to show the customer name once. And then for the quantity, total, and the gross profit, we are going to sum them up. Okay. And then we click next. Here is the conditions. We will put the time range for the report, because we are going to generate the data only for 2012. So here we will set the time range. So we will choose the OINV table. The document posting dates, which is from the date should be greater or equal to January 1st, 2012. And another criteria, which is smaller or equal to December 31st, 2012. Okay. And then we need to uncheck the relation between the INV1 table and the OSLP table, because we don't want the records to repeat too many times. We just need the records once. Okay. After that, we click next. And this is the query generated by the query wizard. If we click finish, and another table pops up, and it will show both the query and the result at the report from Business One. So as you can see, the numbers and the records here are the numbers and the report we want for the sales manager. What I'm going to do is to use SAP Crystal Report to format a better report for the sales manager. So what I need to do next is to copy the query here. Okay. And then I will switch to Crystal Report. So in Crystal Report, I will use the report wizard to generate a report. So we click report wizard here. And then if you did not set up any data connection, and then you need to click create new connection, expand it, and then select SAP Business One here. Once you click it, and then the window which you can put in your server details. Choose my server type and my company database, which is the SBO demo CA, and the database credentials. Okay. Once you click finish, and then there is data connection set up for you. Because we are using query to to generate data from SAP from Business One database. So we are going to use the add command method here. Choose add command and then click here. And there is another window pops up, and then here you can paste your query you generate from the Business One query wizard, and then click OK. And then there is a command generate for you in Crystal Report on the right-hand side here, and then click Next. The good thing for use the report wizard is that you can create a report step by step. Here it asks you for the fields you want to display. So we are going to select all the fields. Click Next. And here is that asks for your group by criteria. And we are going to group by the employee names. Next. Here it tells you there will be some summarized fields, so it will summarize the quantities for you, summarize the line total for you, and the gross profit for you under the group. So I want to keep this, and so keep Next. Here it asks you if you want just show the top 5 groups or the bottom 5 groups. But in our case, we want to show every group, so I choose none. Click Next. Okay, here it asks you if you want to insert a chart in your report, and as you can see, we are going to insert a bar chart. And then once you choose bar chart, it will ask you what numbers you want to show in your bar chart. And here it sets the quantity by default. So we are going to change it to the line total amount. And then you can change the chart title to sales by employee. Okay. Then you can click Next. I don't need this function, so I just click Next. And here you can choose a template for your report. But I want to keep it simple, so I just choose No Templates and then click Finish. Okay, this is the report. The report wizard generate for us. Then basically these are the records generated by the query and then retrieved from the SAP Business One database. What I need to do next is to adjust some space because I need to add a calculation column on the right. So it will take me some time to do some editing here. About the Crystal Report environment, on the top you can see there are some tools. They look similar to the Microsoft Excel or Word, and then there are 2 levels of tabs. The first line here, the tabs here, are the projects you are working on. And then the second line here shows 2 views. The preview view, which show you your actual report, how your actual report looks like. And the design view shows you the report templates. For me, I prefer to add it from the preview view. So I will start edit from here. What I want to do next is to adjust the column width. As you can see, if you click one field, it will automatically highlight the whole columns here. So if you change the view to design, the same column will be highlighted. So once you make any changes on any view, on any fields, and then it will apply automatically into the other from the other view. So you can see what happened if you change here, and it will show you the results from your preview view as well. So what I need to do next is to adjust the space between the columns. Move it a little bit to the left, and then this. Oops. Okay. Okay. I make some space here in order to create a calculation fields later, and then what I need to do next is to change the column titles and make it more obvious. Quantity. Line total. Gross profit. Okay. And then I'm going to, these numbers are actually the subtotals. This is a subtotal of the quantity here. This is the subtotal of the line totals here. And this is the subtotal of the gross profit for this column. So I will make it a line. Okay. And then I will reduce the decimals of the quantity number, and then insert a $sign for these two numbers and the numbers of the column. Okay. And next, I think because the data here is already grouped by the employee name, so I think customer name here is not necessary. So what I need to do is delete them. Okay. And then you can move the fields around to make it more clear for the manager. Okay. Because I delete the whole column, so the column title also be deleted. So I need to manually insert the column. The column title here. Okay, so it looks more clearer than before, right? And then what I need to do is to insert a calculation field here, actually a calculation columns. So you can see the formula fields on the right. So this is the feature, the function I need to use. So click create new formula fields, and then give it a name, gross margin percentage. Okay. Once you click OK, it will automatically show you the formula workshop. Here you need to create a formula, the calculation method for that calculation field. So what we need to do is, for the gross margin percentage, what the formula we use is to use the gross profit divided by the line total, and then times 100%. And then you can see here, we already created the gross margin percentage field, and then I can just draw it and put it here. All right, as you can see, the whole column is created for us. Basically, the 50% is based on the formula. We use the 4,556 divided by the 9,112. So it comes out with the, that's how the 50%, this number comes out. And then we add a percentage sign. So just, all right. And then I would do some other thing to make it align. Okay. Okay, percentage. And then I need another calculation field for the subtotals here. The subtotal gross margin percentage. So I do it again. Formula, create new. This is for the group. The group profit margin percentage. So this is the field name. And once we click OK, the formula workshop comes out. And this time we are going to use the group numbers. The gross profit divided by the line total, and then times 100. And then save and close it. And there is another field, the formula field created. And again, draw it and put it here. Okay, so this number, the 45%, is actually the 15,458 divided by 34,262. And then I will use the format painter to make it look similar to the group subtotals. And I don't need the dollar sign, and instead percentage sign. Okay, so here is basically the report, how the report looks like. And next, I'm going to adjust the graph. I just draw it to and put it where I want it. And then if you want to add the graph, you can just right-click and then choose the chart expert. And then here you can do any editing you want. For example, I want to add some data points, like show the values. Okay, and then the label shows up here. Okay. So basically, this is the report I create for the sales manager. There is another feature you can use is the drill down. If you see the as you see, the mouse, if the mouse become a magnifier, and then you double click it. For example, I want to see why Jim Boxwick make 72,000 in sales, and I just move here and then double click it. So here it's the drill down function, so we can see the detailed report for Jim Boxwick. How many sales number, how much sales he made in 2012, and how much gross profit he made. Then close it. For example, brand Thompson. If you double click on it, and then another detailed report comes up. Okay. Okay, what's next? I'm going to do the conditional formatting. As I mentioned, if the gross margin percentage is a KPI for the report and for the manager. So if the number is less than or equal to 20%, it will show red. And if the number here is greater or equal than 50%, it will show green. So what I need to do is choose the field, choose this field, right click, and then use the format field function. Choose the font, and then in the color here, choose this button, which the formula workshop comes out again. And here I need to type in some code. If the gross margin percentage is greater or equal to 25%, then the color show red. Else, if the gross margin percentage is less than or equal to, right, greater than or equal to 50%, then the color show green. Otherwise, the other condition, no color. Right. So after you put some editing, you put some codes, and then the button show red, which shows you that there is some formatting behind. Once you click OK, you can see the numbers which is greater or equal to 50% will become green, and some numbers like here, if it's less than or equal to 20%, it will show red, and others also are in black, no change. So I would do it again for this field. So choose the field, right click it, and then choose the format field, and then under font tab, choose the color, and then click this button here. Okay. So this time we are going to format this field, the group profit margin percentage. If it's less than or equal to 25, then turn to red. Else if it's greater than or equal to 50%, then turn to green. Otherwise, stay black. No color. Okay, save it. Okay. Okay. It seems like most of them are in black, but if we turn to the second page, as you can see here, this one changed green. Here there is a line which shows the grand totals because I did not make any changes before, so it's not a line. So let me do it quickly. This is the grand total. This is the grand total for the line total, and this is the grand total for the profits. Right. Then make it smaller. And I will make a dollar sign to them. All right. So basically, this is a report we create for the sales manager. Oops. It seems like it take a pretty long time to add it. But it does not only use for only once. If we set up different time range, and then you can actually run it periodically, like a report template. So the demo here I show today is to show you the features you can have and create in a report with the applications you already purchased and running in your desktop. So I hope you will find this demonstration helpful. This is the end of the demo, and we are now open for questions.